Alright, quick update on Kadena. So, it seems like we've run right into the daily EMA ribbons once again. If I thicken up the short-term moving average down here, you can see on the daily time frame, we've wicked into the daily EMAs, and now we're starting to push ourselves down to the downside. Why is this important? Well, let's zoom out and look at what's happened every other time that we've come into the daily EMA ribbons since this downtrend. We had a rejection from this at round about the ranges between this was basically $3.45. What happened after we had a rejection from the daily EMAs at $3.46? Well, the next time we came into these was today, my friends, at $1.85. You notice a trend here. Let's zoom out and find some more data points. Well, this is roughly about the area where I started covering Kadena. I started covering this on the breakdown at $6.50. I remember a lot of my community was asking me to cover this because it looked bullish, and basically I was seeing this the day that it was capitulating below here. So as soon as I started covering KDA at 650, we were calling for lower price targets. I'll talk about my specific price targets towards the latter half of this video, but you can see the last time we basically, we didn't exactly touch it, but we came right up to it, and you can tell that this was the resistance because there wasn't any Fibonacci's up until the point where you actually would have come in the EMA ribbons anyway. So the time before that, you came into them at 589. Let's zoom out again. This was basically where you had an M pattern and capitulated beneath them. So, I mean, technically, you can talk about the times from here where you came into the EMA ribbons. You can talk about them from here. We moved back above them at 16. We moved back above them at 12. 10. We came up at $8. We back tested them once again at $6 here. Broke down. Back tested them here at $3.43, and now we've back tested them once again at $1.85, and now we are losing momentum to the downside. So where do I think we're going? And also, let's talk about the money flow. We've come up very, very fast and very euphorically for my liking over on the daily MFI. And to me, this looks like it is seconds away from topping out. I would also like to highlight, while we have been basically lollygagging sideways since $1.33, there's been absolutely no buyers coming in, stepping in the market, and DCAing Kadena, and that is why we're seeing such a flat and stagnant volume basically since the top over here around about November. Ever since then the volume has been absolutely stagnating. And let's hop over to the 4-hourly time frame before we do wrap up this video. What do you notice every single time that we come up to the top of the money flow indicator? I'm just going to talk about the data points from here. We did this on the 5th of May, all the way up here at 4:30, and this also correlates to the 4-hourly EMAs. We topped out round about the 15th of May, we did this at 3:50. We did this on the 21st of May, and we topped out at 2:70. We did this on the 30th of May, and we topped out at 2:30. We did this on the 6th of June, and we topped out at 2:10. We topped out on the 16th of June, and we topped out at 188, and we are now topping out today on the 26th of June, and we are topping out at 185. So I really just wanted to make a quick update on the basic market structure, some of the momentum indicators that are pointing towards another flush back down to the downside. If you are looking for a tiny bit of hopium, I'm not really a fan of trend lines. I think everyone who watches my channel knows that I'm really not the biggest fan of trend lines. Nonetheless, coming into this trend line and also coming into the 4-hourly EMA ribbons, if you start to see a breakdown from 172, which we are sitting at right now, let's round it down to be conservative. If you start seeing Kadena trickle below $1.70, I am telling you, $1 is right around the table. Now, I've been making these predictions to come down to this $1 range for quite some period in time. You can actually see this was when I updated you the other day, and yes, we have moved up since this prediction, but if we look back at when I was initially predicting for us to move down to $1, it was somewhere around about this range. Because, on the 19th, round about the $1.94 price target, this is where we were calling for the next major move down to $1. And we are still making lower highs from when we made this prediction. We had a massive flush down to the downside at 135, came back up once again, 185, macro low, and now it seems very evident to me that we are about to start losing momentum and we're about to start moving to the downside. That's all I've got for Kadena against the USD. I would also like to say the reason why we had this prediction panned out is because I also have another bearish price target, which I think is more likely to get hit for Kadena. And bear in mind, you know, if this is your first time on my channel and you're watching me say, you know, Kadena is going to $1, and you might think, you know, that I'm being way too bearish or this is too much of a bearish drop. Go back to my videos at 650 because I've been calling this since the 8th of April. I've been telling you at 650 do not DCA. The trend is very evident. Look at the 4-hourly EMA ribbons. We've been getting battered underneath these since the beginning of time. We did flip bullish on these over here. We came back for the back test, failed the back test. What are we doing right now? We are having, once again, another one of, in my opinion, a short-lived 4-hourly EMA flip. And I think if we break below 170, we're going to see this being a fake out, and this is going to carry us all the way down to 80 cents. Bear in mind, the MFI, the money flow indicator, has only just started flowing out of the market, and a lot more money could flow out and subsequently allow us to come down to 80 cents than I think some people realize. So that is KDA USD. Just a quick update on KDA BTC. If you're new to the channel, first of all, warm welcome. You might be wondering where is this Fibonacci drawn to? It is drawn to the candle body closes on the daily time frame. So when we switch back over to the weekly, it doesn't make sense, but nonetheless, very valid drawn to the daily. What do you notice? Within this pump against Bitcoin in the last 2 weeks, why have we been pumping against Bitcoin? Well, very simply put, Bitcoin's taking a break. The Bitcoin dominance had a move back down to the downside, still making higher lows. I would be more bullish on Bitcoin than I am on altcoins right now. And what do you notice with a lot of these altcoin pairs like Kadena? We've broken below the entirety of the bullish market structure on our Fibonacci's. We've broke below the 786, and in the past 2 weeks, all we've done is pump back up to the 786 Fibonacci, pump back up to this decreasing resistance line, which is the line of best fit connecting a lot of the candle bodies and candle wicks as we get to down here. And we're coming back into this and we're running out of steam. You can see, you know, we're just sitting underneath this, and I think we're soon to be running out of steam. Squeeze Mom on the daily time frame, as you can see, is also running out of steam. This is going to be indicative that we're about to take another leg to the downside. And if we do look at the MACD is overbought right now, and in my opinion, this is probably going to start curving down to the downside. You're already seeing this start to roll back over. So for the daily MACD, I think it's pretty obvious that we're going to start heading back down now. So that is all I've got for Kadena. If you are watching this video and we are slipping below 170, it is probably the time to expect a move down to $1, potentially even 80 cents within the next 2 to 4 weeks, in my opinion. That is all I've got for Kadena today. As always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Peace.